This is a unboxing and review of a coin I had ordered in continuation of my other videos, the war with Mexico with reviewed. This is the book I did an unboxing on. 175-year-old book right here. And see if I can gingerly open to this. Pretty nice. Anyways, I had ordered a coin because in that book there was a specific chapter that talked about the new territories and the annexation of California to the United States. And the quote was right here. Who that reviews the violent and fraudulent means employed to revolutionize and conquer California can look with honest complacency on the gold coin stamped with that appellation. So I'm assuming the author of that book was talking about the Golden State Seal of California. So I had ordered online from eBay a replica coin of the state seal, and I figured I would do a unboxing because I just received it. And I received it fairly fast. It came actually a few days early, so that was nice, and it came in this nice little package. And I was actually surprised because I looked inside. I haven't opened it yet, but I received a gift, and it's just not any ordinary gift. It is a collector's edition of some other California players and famous sports players. So I figured that was super cool. If whoever I got this from, I believe, let me see if I can pull it up. I think it was REV Flava, but I'm sure you could find them on eBay. But super stoked, super excited with this. Really cool edition. And I guess I could unbox this, show you some of these before I show you the other one. We have, and they're encased, so that's pretty nice too. This is all a gift. Burt Marshall from the Golden State California Golden Seals. Serge Bernier. If you have any idea on if these are valuable or not, put a comment below because I'm not familiar with all this. Serge Bernier from the Los Angeles Kings. Roger Repose, outfield, Angels. Nice. This one stood out. Willie Davis, Dodgers. That's a good one right there. So those will make a cool gift for, I have some, my brother's kids, and that'll be a nice little gift I could give to them. Put that back in the sleeve. We'll get to what the video was about. And with the card, it had a nice little statement. It said, "Thank you again for your quick response. Kindest regards, Reverend Lyons." So shout out to Reverend Lyons for a quick delivery and pretty cool gift. Really awesome. And this is what the coin came in. It slipped out, but this is what it came in. A little pocket paper sleeve. And that's the coin. It is like a gold plated. One side has the American eagle on the shield, the kind of normal logo. It says United States of America, Liberty at the bottom. On the other side is, I don't know if you can see that very well, but that is the Great Seal of the State of California. There. There we go. You can see that a little better now. So yeah, I got this because I figured it was interesting with that quote. It said, who that reviews the violent and fraudulent means employed to revolutionize and conquer California can look at this gold coin stamped with that appellation. So if the viewers aren't familiar with what that was about, what that quote is about, California was gained through a invasion and illegal conquest. So on a Christian point of view, as the author of The War with Mexico, A.B.O. Livermore, wrote, he basically says, when has unjust riches or spoils ever benefited a person or a nation? You know, California is going to be no different. If we got it unjustly, it's not going to bring a benefit or an honor to the name. So that's the point he was trying to get across. Now it's out of the package. There's the coin. Pretty nice. You can see it much better right there. It's pretty nice. It's like about a $half size. It's got a little bit of weight to it. Shiny, for sure. Yeah, I figured I would do a review and give a reasoning why I purchased this coin. Figured it would be interesting for some of us. So the video got cut off there, but I figured I would keep going. The video, like I was saying, was just to for an unboxing and kind of give some reasoning on why I purchased this coin. And it's more of a collector's and historical novelty item, in part with the book I ordered, because I feel it goes hand in hand. It's pretty good, especially if I'm trying to tell someone about it. It's good for them to have something to look at. But if we're I could give you a direct quote from the actual book that kind of sums it all up for you. And I'll start right here. And this is from The War with Mexico Reviewed by A.B.O. Livermore. I have a video on it. If you want to watch it, you could go on my other videos. And here's the quote. The ancient saying may be fulfilled. He gave them their request, but he sent leanness onto their souls. Who that reviews the violent and fraudulent means employed to revolutionize and conquer California can look with honest complacency on the gold coin. This gold coin. Gold coin stamped with that appellation. Who that understands in any measure what makes a state, what constitutes the true grandeur of nations, but must lament with the unusual bitterness of sorrow, that breaking away of that from the high promise and beautiful charm of our youth, and abjuring the splendid destiny of justice, peace, and humanity, we should instead be content to crawl in the dust to scrape together a little of the perishable life of the world, and to care less for obedience to those eternal principles on which the moral universe is built. Instead, for certain plantations stocked with slaves, certain harbors on the Pacific Ocean, and certain valleys barren and empty and all but the fiery gold. We beat, we threatened, we coaxed Mexico to do what was against her wishes and express interests. Can such treasures thus procured carry a blessing to their rapacious possessors? Not if life has one lesson to teach. Not if there's any truth in God's words. Not if providence has any oversight over human affairs. Ill-gotten riches, when, as a general rule, have they benefited individuals or nations? Must we cast covetous eyes on our neighbors' lands because we are a progressive people, and like Jezebel, covet their vineyards? Read the history of the nations which have most abounded in the precious metals. Read the tales of California life thus far developed, and then let the true lover of his country, let the friend of freedom and free institutions, say whether if there was a retribution for the stupendous folly and crime of such a war, he could devise anyone that underneath a fascinating disguise carries with it a Pandora's box of greater evils than the acquisition of the gold lands of Sacramento. I am a friend to gold mining. Let's scroll down a little bit. I am a friend to gold currency, but not to gold mining. That is a pursuit which the experience of nation shows to be both costly and demoralizing to a nation. I regret that we have these mines in California. But there they are, and I am for getting rid of them as soon as possible. That is, making the working as free as possible. I care not who digs it up. I want it gone. I want the fever gone. Let the earth be ravaged and the mines extirpated. That way the honest industry, one that enriches and ennobles a nation, takes place. Do all the work we can. It cannot be finished soon. And if the period ever arrives when the largest republic on earth, Mexico, next to our own, and the most hopeful and consistent one, is blotted out of the record of nations and becomes the Poland of the West, we shall stand condemned in the eyes of heaven and our own, as authors of so tremendous a catastrophe. We are obliged, therefore, shocking as the statement is, and then blushing for our native land as we do, while we record it, to declare that the paramount cause and motive of the war with Mexico, without doubt or controversy, was territorial aggrandizement under the dominion of domestic slavery and the internal slave trade. This cause, first advocated by a few and afterwards entangling the nation, severed the province of Texas from Mexico and annexed it to the United States. This cause carried the sword in its devastating career from Palo Alto to Buena Vista in Upper California, and from Veracruz to the City of Mexico in the southern parts of that country. Numerous unlawful acts preceded the war. The conquest of Mexican territory by the citizens of the United States, with the connivance, if not the aid, of the national and state government, was contrary to the law of nations. The seizure of Monterey in California, October 19, 1842, by Commodore Jones, was a lawless act disavowed indeed by the government, but the perpetrator was never punished. It is no honor to us that we, the stronger republic, and one that can afford to be generous, should make war upon the weaker one. It is no honor to us to grasp the whole continent when we find it a sufficient work to take care of what we have. The expedition of Fremont into California in 1836, in 1813, and 1816 was palpably unjustifiable, and its purpose but very thinly disguised. The absolution by General Kearny of the inhabitants of New Mexico and California from their allegiance to Mexico, his compelling the native officers to take their oath of allegiance to the United States, and the execution as traitors by other commanders of those who rose and attempted to destroy their invaders and shake off their control, were deeds that find no justification in the recognized laws of nations, however sanctified under the bloody coat of Mars, that Roman war code. Switch arms. The act of war at first was illegal. It was a violation of the laws of nations to enter a disputed territory and hold it by force of arms when it was fully conceded that it was debatable ground. The progress of the war was attended by many proceedings as much at variance with the laws of man's and nations as the laws of God. The origin of the war was also contrary to the Constitution of the United States. By this instrument it is reserved to Congress to declare war and repel invasions. Under the dominion of this lust for territory, under the dominion of domestic and foreign slavery, however acquired, we have pushed onwards in a hot and unjustifiable invasion, and by a compulsory peace have extorted from our neighbors more than 500,000 square miles of land. And by aiming fatal blows at the physical life of our sister republic, Mexico, it becomes a serious prerequisite and inquiry if we may have placed ourselves in the way of receiving spiritual deaths in ourselves. See, says the monarchist, the aristocrat, your boasted government of the people, your democracy, can commit as many cruelties and outrages as if ever perpetrated by the kings and kaisers of the old world. It is the same game of ambition, only played by different hands, that ancient spirit, only in new form. The reality is the same. Sugar it over and call it as many fair names as you please. War is war, evil is evil, and slavery is slavery, whether it be the United States, England, or Rome. And that was from The War with Mexico Reviewed. War with Mexico Reviewed by Abiel Abbott Livermore. And I don't want to give too many quotes away from that book because it's a pretty good book, and I would suggest our viewers to read it themselves because there's a lot of good historical points in that book. There's a lot of Christian principles, and the author himself says it is very good for building national character as Americans and for the United States. So hopefully our viewers will take a look at that book because it is very interesting. Let's see if I could go down. So yeah, that is my unboxing and review of the California State Seal coin. And as I said before, if you have any more questions or interests on that book and this event, you could go to my other videos on my channel, or you can find the book itself for free online at the Library of Archives website called, it's www.loc.gov, and then you search up The War with Mexico Review by Abiel Livermore. And if you click on it, it should be a free online book that you could check it out. And that's where I found it. It actually took me, because I was studying the topic, and it took me a while to actually find it, because I had to go through a ton of pages to find it, because most of the information on it was not that good. But this book is the best, if not certainly the best review on the war. So I would definitely give it a look. It's not the ordinary accounts of war that you're used to seeing, where it's just costs, men, ramble. This actually digs deep into the causes, the facts, the contradictions with Christian faith. A lot of what America is about is what you would find in this book. So I would give it a check out. I would check it out. Certainly why I bought it, and it's really cool. I mean, if you could see, it says right there, War with Mexico reviewed. This is gonna go together on my shelf. So there we go. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.